Hello, dear students and research fellows. Today, we are going to talk about literature review analysis and research designing strategies. We have talked about in our previous sessions in three topics about how to write our papers. We discussed some basic components which are required to act as a base architect of the paper, which was the first of the one. The philosophy of research means we should know what we are doing actually, the 5 WH of doing the research. And also we discuss about the strong knowledge of scientific writings, means what type of scholarly publications are, what kind of publishers are this known as the scholarly publishers, what are the web tools and softwares, what type of basic scientific papers, what make it different between to the other general papers. So the next most important architect of to start a research paper is a critical reading and doing a comprehensive literature review analysis. The basic purpose of this critical reading and literature review analysis is to study the related work done, along with to reach some objectives and to develop your strong grip over the subject. So, uh, in addition to this, when the basic 5WH of doing research, we understand what kind of scientific writing is and how the literature happened in the past, what kind of research has been done. We go for to design our research projects. So we go for research designing strategies, and we define what type of research we want to do, and then we do the research, means following some research methodologies which are known as also the doing of research, which includes the collection, analysis, and interpretation of data, and then we formulate our first draft of the research paper. So to start the critical reading, the first of things, we should know what is critical reading. The most important things. The critical reading is known as the questions and concept-based reading and analysis, as we discussed here. Questions and concept-based reading means you should know what you are looking for. Some students, they are writing their first papers and they start studying on the internet. They are downloading the papers, a lot of papers. They are reading, and they are keep doing reading. What happens then? They are being distracted in knowledge. Actually, you can say they're lost in the ocean of knowledge. So if you want to keep focused, you should know what you are studying. You should have strong concepts about what kind of literatures you are looking for. So reading and analysis should continue. It means you are reading, you are analyzing the questions, looking for the concepts that you have developed in your mind, and you are going to find out the answers and just polishing your concepts. So the critical reading is divided into three you can say a kind of three type of critical readings. Means you should understand what kind of reading models you are following, or what kind of reading models actually exist there, what kind of questions are you having, and how to develop some theories, means to do critical readings. For example, in first section we will talk about the reading models. There are three general type of reading models. It is known as the top to down models, bottom to up models, and interactive models. Top to down model is a general model. Mostly the young researchers, they follow. For example, they are looking for some titles using their keywords, and they are downloading the papers, they are reading it, they are just understanding the knowledge. Somehow they understood what the purpose of these papers, and somehow they found out that this paper is not interactive for them, so they left it and they are going for others. And then with the passage of times, they go, for example, they are looking for some general topics, they are going to very specific, and they're saying, no, my concepts are wrong. So the reader is developing new concepts. So this is a kind of top to down models. In bottom to up models, we define some basic things, means the same what we are looking for actually. Means we have some questions, we entered in the literature review, we downloaded our papers, we are starting to looking for the conclusions, just means why this paper actually has been published. And interactive model actually is a combination of these two type of models. Means you do also top to down, you also bottom to up, until you find what you are looking for. So three strategies of the models you can follow it while you are doing the critical readings. So this interactive model actually is divided into uh, types of the interactive models. Means five different persons they described it into that how you can do the top to down and bottom to up readings. So in this, we will talk about a very interesting models because these are the based on scientists. You can also your own models. For example, the third one is a schema theoretic models, means some theories you are having of readings. But the most important model is the RW models. RW model is actually reader-writer models. This is the models where you developed a kind of connections with the author of the papers. For example, consider yourself as an author. You have a lot of questions, you have a lot of innovative ideas, you publish a lot of research, and you are dividing your theories into one papers, two papers, three papers, four papers. So a reader is reading just only one paper, but not trying to understand what is in your brain, what is in your minds. So this happens when you create a kind of connections between the author. So being a reader, when you are creating a connections, we are trying to create the connections with the authors. You understand the broader pictures the author wanted to describe in this paper. Because a scientific paper is generally a one puzzle of the big pictures. So by creating these models, by using these models, by following these models, actually you try to understand the broader picture of the authors, I mean what actually author want to present. So in second important type of critical readings that you have to follow is the questions. What kind of questions do you have? For examples, we talked about that when you are going to start the research, you should have five. WH means the what, when, where, who, these kind of questions. These are called thin questions. So these are okay to start a kind of research journey or knowledge journey. But to continue, you have to create your thick questions also. The thick questions means you have to enlarge your simple WH, means how did this happen? What if I do this? What if the authors was doing like this? What it's like a kind of a lot of what and if you creating. Also, you are creating why the authors or the researcher did like this kind of research. So also what would happen if, for example, you are you are going like this. So these are kind of the questions. Also, the most important kind of the questions, does this connect to what? Connect to what you are looking for actually. Connect to your ideas, connect to your questions, connect to your concepts, your theories, and the conclusions that you are trying to make. So these thick questions actually help you to do the critical readings and help you to find out what actually you are looking for. The second the things in the critical reading is the theories. What kind of theories you are following? For example, the one kind of theory is the sub-skill theory. The second is the interactive theories and also a transactive theory. Sub-skill theory is a kind of general theory of the readings, and we will talk about these theories also in details. Interactive is where you are trying to find out some different things, but transactive theory describes the whole pictures of the critical readings. So let's go into deep details of all these theories. In sub-skill theory, as we talk, it's a kind of automatic readings. I mean, you are reading, you are understanding the things, and you might find some answers or you might love the papers. It's not important for me, but the paper is important. It might be important. So usually the general writers, the general readers, means who are the beginners who are starting their research careers, they follow this sub-skill theory. The interactive theory, as the same like the interactive reading models, it's a combination of top to down and bottom up models. Means you are reading or you are studying the you are processing the text. The transactive, as we talked, it's the most important theories when you are following. Being an expert reader means in transactive, I can say in a simple words, for examples, you are not trying to read that paper. You are trying to understand that papers. You just go through, you just scan the papers and a kind of algorithms are running in your brain to analyze some kind of secrets, some kind of hidden knowledge, some kind of intelligence behind that research work, the research work that has been done. So if you understand, so we can say that readers, they may have a different stance. They focus on different, obtaining a different kind of information from the text. Actually, they are not following that text. They are reading that text to just get the ideas, to enhance their concepts and to answer their questions. So transactive theory results, it creates a kind of very good results. So you have to develop your, in reading models, a kind of reader writer models. You have to follow the thick questions and not the thin questions. Of course, thin questions are important to start. And you also have to follow the transactive theory while you are doing the critical readings. So these three sections help you to understand about the what is happening in the research, what a kind of knowledge, hidden knowledge is there already, and you can reach your goals faster. So while you're doing the critical readings, means you are following the reader writer models, you are following the transactive theories of analyzing the contents, you are looking for some kind of hidden information, you have a lot of thick questions and a lot of ifs and a lot of what and a lot of might be, then you have to do these five things, these five actions simultaneously. Means every sentence you are reading, your brain should evaluate that sentence. You should analyze that sentence. You can say it's happening in 1 second. In 1 second, you should evaluate, you should analyze, you should have deep understanding of the concepts. You should enjoy the readings, because if you are not enjoying and you will get tired, you cannot understand the secrets behind the that papers. You cannot understand what author is going to describe actually, and also how each piece of knowledge is linked together. So it means the different researchers, their knowledge is linked together to create a wonderful story, and the wonderful story which is already published. So you have to do all these five actions simultaneously while you are doing the critical readings to understand the knowledge. So it's a kind of a repeating cycles for every sentence, for every word, for every piece of knowledge in a paper. You have to do these five things together. So let's do an examples. For examples, I have designed some five basic research keywords. And from these keywords, we will start, we will go for doing a critical readings, means the project management, leaderships, management educations, leadership educations, and employee empowerment. So considering this, we find out the highly cited articles, books, or papers on this. And using these keywords, which are highly cited, as you can see, for example, 22,000 citations, 5,000 citations. So this is the five things. You have to list your all top 10s and top 20 and then top 30 highly cited research papers. And then from even from different years, in after that, you can analyze these things to understand the current trends in the knowledge, current followers of the specific knowledge. And when you find out all these top 5 or top 10 highly cited articles, then you list all the titles of these articles, because these are highly cited, they are highly appreciated in the scientific community. And for examples, in using that five keywords, I listed these five articles here. And from these five articles, I try to merge these five articles. I try to establish the relationship between the authors of these five articles. I try to follow the transactive theory of the transactive models, theoretic models of critical readings, to merge all these five papers, means five titles, and created the new titles. For example, impact of the leadership approaches on the successful operation of an enterprise. So the successful operation of an enterprise, this is the topics that we are working on the first presentations. So successful operation of an enterprise has could have a lot of impacts. And we, in this, considering merging these five articles, we can conclude our titles, means impact of the leadership approaches on the successful operation of an enterprise. So when we have the title, then we go for the second sections of the critical readings, means searching the keywords, means the successful operation of an enterprise. So I started to read a lot of papers. For example, when you put the successful operations of an enterprise on the Google Scholars, you find out a lot of papers, for example, published in 2015, cited by two. So this is not an important papers, published in 2020, 12, cited by 36, published in 2004, cited by 535, and so on. So with the passage of times, when you do one research, one searching, two search, three search, you find out the highly cited papers also, and which indicates the importance. So we download these papers, the criticals also, the of course the next ones. Then even you can sort out which years, means to find out the details. For example, what are highly cited in the recent years. And in this, we can see, for example, the recently published papers in 2022, last year, cited by the 17th. We have 22 publication, another papers published in 22. And then we are following our titles, and then we downloaded the articles and start reading this. Means now we are applying all the critical reading things that we discussed together. So to read the articles, for example, uh, this article is about the examining the role of enterprise resource planning in improving business operations in companies. So in this, the one thing I found, he explained, for example, this is why most of Fortune 500 companies have already implemented ERP in their operation management. So this is an important piece of knowledge that I'm going to retrieve it. Downloaded this, find out this reference completely, took it separately, and created my own piece of knowledge. It means the success of an enterprise directly depends upon the proper implementation of its operation plans. And the good leader can design, see, we are correlating that piece of knowledge to our the questions we had and to our concepts. And a good leader can design an excellent operation plan with specific operation observational strategies, such as application of enterprise resource planning systems, the softwares which are helping to maintain the operations, successful operations of an enterprise. And this is not just we are talking about the softwares. Actually, this is talking about a leader, because our topic is impact of the leadership approaches. So it is a leadership approach who is following a kind of system to monitor regularly enterprise is in a good operation to create good results. Then go for the second articles we listed there, means the factors affecting success and survival of small medium enterprise in the Middle East. We find out here another important piece of knowledge, means generating approximately 60% of the employment SMEs have been the key drivers of employment growth. The six numbers we checked it on the cross-reference and published by the OECD, which is the Organization of Economically Developed Countries. And they did an analysis, entrepreneurship outlooks on the SMEs, and they find out that 60% employment is by the SMEs, means small medium enterprise. So the factors behind the survival and success of the SMEs is very important. For example, if you have a big capital and you establish a very big company, it automatically goes for a kind of successful operations, because we have a lot of human resource. But that does not need a good leadership. So that needs a good board of management. But for our SMEs, a good leader is very important, because a good leader is creating a brand. A good leader is creating an impact from zero, from scratch. So that's why, considering the SMEs as an enterprise, the successful operations, it should indicate how these SMEs are employing 60% of the employment in the region, and also even globally, and also what are the factors behind the success of these. So we use that reference, that piece of knowledge, to answer our own questions that we are looking for, and to enhance our conceptions. In the end, we actually the knowledge we were looking for, and we are using the data references. We can say employment ratio of a society is directly related to the successful operations of its business entities. as it has been reported that 60% employment of our society are only covered by the SMEs, generating revenue and supporting the national gross GDP. So I also mentioned that whenever you are writing a sentence, you are developing the knowledge, you are using the knowledge, you should mention the reference. And to make it easy, what I use, my strategy is to download the DOIs, to copy the DOIs, because when I'm putting in my Microsoft Word files, and then by using the EndNote easily, I'm inserting all these DOIs as a reference, and then I can easily manage the formatting of the references. So continue on this same paper, we found another important the piece of knowledge means SMEs face more impediments that affect their survival than the larger business. As I said, a larger business, they are putting the investment money, they already have some kind of impacts, the brand reputations, they have a lot of capitals, a lot of team to create the impact or their brand reputations. But SMEs are not like this. They are facing more threats. They are in more challenges, and by using these challenges, if they survived, they developed into a big business. So the basic things of their survival is the good leadership approaches, and this is what actually we are looking for. Among the challenges being faced by SMEs or large business, leadership approaches are considered vital, because a good leader can transform an SME to a global brand of successful business, as we see in case of all the big brands like the McDonald's, Starbucks, etc., etc. And we are putting again the references in general format, as I mentioned. And I mentioned here, for example, 2 references, but a lot of references could be inserted here. One, the same, the 15 references here, and the rest, for example, the leadership approaches in the McDonald's, in Starbucks, and all the companies, the global brands you are putting here. So you can use all these references to complete the concept what you are looking for. So why we are doing the analysis, the same questions again. Actually, we are doing the literature review analysis to understand why your research is needed. Actually, we are justifying our research. Actually, we are creating a new story. We are trying to explain that we are going to discuss a new things which have not been discussed already. And this this study we are doing, we are presenting, actually can advance the field, and these researchers can help the society to improve their lives. So doing a literature review, critical literature review analysis and critical reading of the already published literatures, actually you are answering the research objectives and purpose of the study. This section is a one section of a 4 sections of the research designing strategies. The rest are the research approaches, nature of research works, and the data analysis and collections. So considering these 4 things, the research objectives and the purpose, the research approaches, nature of research and type of research, and the data organizations, these are called the important segments of designing our research. So the basic first questions, the basic objectives and purpose, actually you can develop these things from the literature review. As I mentioned earlier, first of all, we have to get the questions. You should know what you are looking for. You should have your objectives and purpose in your brain, but you are trying to justify it using the references. So you are extracting the knowledge and developing a new way of presentations of the issue. So the second segment of this in research designing strategy is what kind of research work actually you are going to do. We have 2 types of research work, the primary research work and the secondary research work. The primary research work means you are generating a new piece of knowledge, entirely a new data, a new research. It could be a kind of general surveys, some questions, some general analysis, some basic data, the development of data, for example, visiting some offices or companies or firms. Or you can do in-depth and years of long study to reach a conclusion and generating the primary data. The secondary research work is the work done already by someone. For example, the kind of literature review you are doing and creating a new stories in a review paper is a kind of secondary research work. Even also you can use the already published data, for example, by international organizations like OECD, like Asian Development Bank, like World Banks, like the other organizations who are publishing regularly data. You can use it, as we mentioned. You can use several data sets, even the Google data sets, to extract the knowledge, and you can create new stories by doing the just analysis of this data. It is called a secondary research work. So when you define the research objectives and purpose of your study, and you are justifying it with a very good literature review, and you have analyzed which kind of research you are going to do, primary research works or secondary research works, then the important section is what kind of approaches you are following. Either your research is a qualitative research or either your research is a quantitative research. In qualitative research, you go in depth knowledge of a specific context, and also this approach helps to generate the new ideas, to new concepts in the research. For example, the behavior study. For example, some kind of biological research, the pharmaceutical research means entirely a new things. In quantitatives, you are working with some variables, some frequencies, averages, correlations, and generally this approach is applied to study the effectiveness of our research. So in these kind of these two qualitative and quantitative research approaches, they are further divided into several sections. For example, in qualitatives, you can work on a case reports, a case study. It could be a specific subject about a place, about an organization. For example, the successful operation of company XYZ, or the basic things discussed, for example, in a specific event, in a global conference. You can do critical analysis of a global conference. For example, the global conferences on the stem cells or molecular biology or biotechnology is happening, and you can participate in the conferences. You can do a comprehensive analysis, and then you can reach a critical analysis. For example, the current modern trends of environmental issues have not been discussed in the biotechnology, then who is going to discuss these issues? So you can do this kind of study also. And also the international associations, their effectiveness, maintaining the peace, developing the society, enhancing the educational and research qualities. You can do the subject-specific, comprehensive and critical studies to publish your research, known as the case studies or the case reports. Also, you can do, and these are considered as the qualitative research designs. You can also do some kind of ethnographies, means studying a specific ethnic behaviors, for example, the specific populations, for example, the Kurd peoples, their lifestyles, their diversity, their internationalization concepts, their local ideologies. You can talk a lot about, for example, the Kurds, which are divided into 4 countries, their multicultural evolutions of their cultures. So this kind of study is known as the ethnographic studies. And also, you can have some kind of systematically developed some quantitative data to work on some kind of grounded theories. And also there are some phenomenologies where you are trying to understand a phenomena happening in a specific community. For example, in schools, for example, the production results, especially during the COVID, we observed such kind of phenomena published by several countries, several communities, several scientists. Also, the second, the general category is the quantitative research designs. There are also 4 types of research designs. The one is the experimentals. In experimentals, actually, you need a lab, a comprehensive lab, a fabricated lab. In basic sciences, the basic research is a kind of a quantitative experimental research, where you are studying some kind of causal relationships. You are trying to understand, you are developing some kind of groups analysis, even on animals, even on plants, even on living organisms, other things, microbial organisms. Also, the second is a quasi-experimental research designs, which is exactly similar to the experimental research designs, means the quantitative research designs, but there is no random assignments. You know what you are looking for. You know some specific kind of, for example, the ecosystems you are looking for. Also, the third type of is the correlational studies, which is also among the quantitative research designs. For examples, what kind of variables and how strong you are going to study, and you are studying the variables without influencing them. Also, we have some kind of descriptive quantitative research designs where you are studying the changing trends, averages, characteristics of some specific attitudes, changing in evolutionary stages. A kind of these things also are included in the descriptive quantitative research designs. So, you know the research objectives, you have chosen which kind of research approach you are going to follow, which means categorizing your type of research. And also you have designed, which you have decided what kind of, what nature of research work you are going to do, means primary or secondary. Then the most important thing is the data collection and analysis. The data collection and analysis actually is the in-depth knowledge of a specific context. Also, as we discussed in the quantitatives, qualitatives, it generates some new ideas. The data analysis, actually, when you are doing a very big data analysis, you find some hidden secrets behind this. So by completing this data analysis, actually, you are finishing the complete research project and then go for a repeating cycles of the doing research and publishing your research, means drafting your papers, editing it, formatting it and submitting to our journals, again getting the reviews, upgrading it, revising it, and then again submitting for the publications until your article is going to be published. So you can read my book, Simplifying the Scientific Writings, which have some basic information all about the scientific writing and scholarly publications in details. You can also download it or from your Apple books, also some by using the Kindle, Amazons on your Android stores. And if you have any questions, you can reach me at MIMaksud on my social media and also on MIMaksud@gmail.com. Thank you.